Hi, my name is Brooke, and this is my reaction video to Soul of a Citizen. I guess I just wanted to start out and say that I found this reading very relevant just as we have a lot going on in the world, and it just kind of seems like these days people are not very inclined to give a helping hand as they used to be. Just kind of like if you see someone, on the side of the road with a car broke down, I feel like nowadays people don't really stop and help just because they're worried about what could happen and what if they're a dangerous person, just because so much is going on in these days. And you hear everybody say, oh, people are crazy, the world's getting crazy, and it just kind of makes everyone step back into their own bubble and kind of not be as inclined, like I said, to help people. It just really puts you back in your bubble. I guess the first quote that I found that stood out to me that I want to start out with is that we often think of our social involvement as noble but impractical. I completely agree with this. I feel like a lot of people feel like they have the desire to stand up for what they believe in. They have the desire to make a difference in this world, but sometimes I think that, like me, I feel like I'm one of those people. If I could, I would make a difference, but sometimes I feel like, where do you start? There's so much wrong in this world. There's so much inequality. There's so much violence. Where do you start making a change? And sometimes it just seems like a bigger job than you. It's bigger than all of us, but it does seem very impractical to people. And that kind of ties in with how the writer was saying about how a lot of people feel like this heroic figure needs to be somebody larger and somebody stronger, kind of like a superhero almost. And I just completely agree with that. It's almost like a job that all of us feel like we can't do, and we kind of just put it off and wait for someone stronger or smarter or better than us. But really, it's a job that we all need to come together and do. And then I wanted to go back to literally, it's a little cliche, but the very first quote of this reading, which said, "We can never predict the impact of our actions." And I just really liked this quote. It really stood off to me right off the bat. To me, it just means like, it's kind of like, well, I kind of took it in two ways. Either lending a helping hand or kind of like taking that foot into fixing a problem, like taking that first step into fixing a problem. You don't really know the impact that you could have on other people. You don't know the I guess like encouragement you could give to other people, or the inspiration that you could give to other people to also make a change. And then another way I took it is, when you set out to do something and you set out to make a change, in your head, as much as you believe that this will work and you hope that it will work, there's probably, many of us still doubt, like, ooh, is this really going to work or not? But I feel like that quote was kind of like, you never really know the impact. You really never know the change you're going to make in this world when you set out to do something. And that kind of ties in to me, like that kind of tied in with later on in the reading when they talked about Gandhi and how Gandhi's family, like, they went to all this trouble to send him to law school, and then he did great in school, he passed the bar, and then he loses all his court cases because he just is too shy to stand up, and his family just didn't know what to do. They pretty much, their whole livelihood counted on him being a lawyer. They went to great lengths to get him to where he was, and it didn't really work out. And I feel like that's so discouraging, and honestly, I would almost just give up there. But when he went to South Africa and he started to make a change there, that's kind of like how that kind of just reminded me back to that quote, like, you never really know the impact of our actions. And when you set out to do something, you may feel like you're veering off the path, but you really never know where you're going to end up, and it could be, make just as much a difference or more. And then let's see the other quote. So I have a third quote that really stood out to me. And it says, "We are also taught to doubt our voice." This is something that I agree with, but yet I disagree with, just because as I've gotten older, I can definitely see a change in our society just in how we're taught, like with the whole feminist movement and stuff. That's something that's very new that I feel like is teaching you actually don't doubt your voice. Like, you have a voice and it is important and it does need to be heard, and it can make a difference. And I feel like I also see a lot more celebrities kind of like trying to empower their fans, trying to empower us as normal citizens who feel like we don't have a voice. Like, they feel, I kind of just feel like they're empowering us, like, get out there, do something. You do have a voice, you can make a difference. And but at the same time, I feel like, yes, celebrities have always kind of been like that, like, oh, you can make a difference. And as long as I can remember, there's always those people kind of telling you, like, those adults, like, you can make a difference, you can make a change, your voice will be heard, yada yada yada. But for some reason, I feel like, and I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or it's because times really are changing or society is really evolving to be a little bit more proactive, but I feel like there's something more genuine about it this time. Like, and it could just be my age, but I feel like society is a little bit more genuine about getting out there, being proactive, getting your voice heard, and actually making a change. And I also feel like at the same time, though, obviously I have learned helplessness when it comes to our society and making a change, because as I said earlier in this video, like, I kind of feel like these problems are bigger than I am, and I'm not equipped to deal with them, and I'm not equipped to even put a dent into these issues. So obviously, somewhere along the road, I have been taught to doubt my voice. But that can also be something, maybe like a personal thing. It could come down to your personal level of confidence. But that was something that stood out to me because I definitely had like mixed feelings about it. I felt like society is becoming a little bit more proactive and making you feel like you're empowered and stuff, but at the same time, like I said, clearly somewhere down the road, I and many of um, other citizens have been or felt like they've been taught to doubt their voice, or something has made them feel that way. So that's it.